In a world where a person could buy a 38-mile-an-hour moped e-bike like the one on the left, or a Class 1 pedal assist 20-mile-an-hour only e-bike like the one on the right, which path would you choose? Why would anyone choose the slow bike when they could get on a motorcycle-style bike and ride it? Well, I have both bikes, and honestly, I have a lot of fun on the bicycle-style bike. So I'm going to tell you why, and we're going to take a little ride around town. The guys at Tenways said, hey, do a day in the life of you riding around on this bike. So that's what I'm going to do. But if you want the other bike, there's a coupon code for $100 off. If you want this one, best price is in the description. You can see this one's a belt drive single speed with a headlight in the front. It's got hydraulic disc brakes. It's got a clip-on red light in the back, and it weighs 41.7 pounds with the kickstand and the fenders on it. So it feels like a bicycle, rolls like a bicycle, and I'm going to show you here in a minute just why that's a good thing. 36 volts, 10 amp hours, and a 350-watt Mi-Vice motor on the back. We're taking a trip to the beach today on the bicycle-style bike, and I am going up a hill here. So I've got my heart rate monitor on, and I'm going to monitor this ride. And the idea is, can you get around if you're lazy bones and you don't want your heart rate to crank up? So I'm in pedal mode 3. I'm going up a hill, and I'm just barely putting any effort into it. And the torque sensor on level 3 gives you a lot of power. And then if you want to work, you put it down to level 2 or level 1, and you're using more of your leg power. But this is pretty close to having a throttle. I'm just keeping the pedals moving, and it's ripping me up the hill. But what we want to do is go up this big hill and then check my heart rate and just see how I'm doing at the top. Because the idea is, you have a bicycle style bike and you can ride it and then not be sweaty when you get where you're going. Survey says 83 beats a minute. So I'm not even breathing hard at the top of the hill. And then bobbing down the final hill to the beach, you can see I can go well over 20 miles an hour, and it handles really tight like a bicycle. It's kind of, I would say, gravel bike geometry on it, and I can just jump in with the cars and then get around them when they're moving too slow. So the nice thing about having a bicycle-style e-bike, I guess, is just the lightweight and the ability to really maneuver around and use all the benefits of a bicycle, it being super light and narrow and easy to control all the way down to the beach. So this is kind of a benefit of any e-bike when you live down here. You can see all those people that I just went by are going to spend another 15 minutes trying to find a parking place and then having to walk really far to get to where they're trying to go. Whereas I am able to just rip all the way down to the water, except we see a roadblock. Right up there, there's a roadblock. So there's some kind of special event going on. But the good news is they just enacted a new law this year that went into effect in 2024, which says if the pedestrian crossing sign is on, then a bicycle is allowed to cross the street. So this is not a crime. This is just progress. California made one law that I actually agree with. So that's pretty awesome, getting across the street with the pedestrians. And then coming down the street, there's a truck in the way. What if I was driving my car? I'd be stuck.
Sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
I
Good.
move faster, but I can't.
Oh, that's all right. You're doing great. Good morning. Now let's get down to the beach and see what the crack is. Something big is going on. I never check the social calendar before I go on a ride, so you never know what you're going to find here. It's like a Forrest Gump on wheels. But there is some big doings down here. A lot of swag tents, a lot of people milling around. So it was 1.5 miles to the beach. I did 325 feet of climbing. We measure everything in football fields in the USA, so that's more than a football field. And my heart rate average was 98 beats a minute, even climbing those hills to get to the water.
Thank you for being here for such a good cause. Every pedal stroke you take is making a difference.
This is the Tour des Piers, where they've actually put exercise bikes on the bike path, and people ride the exercise bikes to raise money to fight pancreatic cancer. They raised about $1.5 million today. And this is a great event. I'll put a link to it in the description so you can check out more about it. And the motivational specialists from UCLA were there, keeping the crowd hype. And it was just generally a good time. A lot of fun, a lot of entertainment, a lot of swag, and a lot of good vibes. A lot of people raising money to keep people from getting sick and to help people who already are sick. And I'm trying out free samples of weird stuff. This stuff's supposed to grow my gut bacteria and make me healthy. I'm watching the pickleball action on the pickleball court, and then got some sunscreen. These guys normally do zinc oxide reef safe sunscreen, but now they've come out with a brown version so I don't have to look like Dracula when I put it on my face. Now I can be the guy on the right instead of the guy on the left when I'm out in the sun. And I would have picked up a lot more swag, but I do not have any luggage on this bike. But Tenways has built luggage rack lugs onto it. They sell a luggage rack with a really cool quick release bag system. So I just don't have that. So alas, I'm going to have to carry all my sunscreen and stuff in my pockets. There's also a bolt there that you can use to mount things to as well if you're using a generic luggage rack. And the beach cities are e-bike central. Everybody and their mom has an e-bike. So another thing I like about having the bicycle style e-bike is that people are most likely going to steal Super 73s before they steal my bike. And there's always better bikes to steal out there. And then the nice thing about the belt drive on this one, I should mention, like if I accidentally rub my pants on it, if I touch it with my hands, there's no oil on this thing. The belt drive is 100% clean. So I really appreciate that as well. With the police blocking the main road to the beach, I had to take a detour, go through the alleys, and this is where having a lightweight bike really makes a lot of sense. So you can see there's stairs going down to the bike path, so I just pick it up, carry it down the stairs. Try that with a 100-pound bike. It's a whole lot easier if you're on one that weighs 40 pounds. So I'm down on the beach, and the other nice thing about the lightweight nature of this bike and the 700 by 45 relatively skinny tires is I'm in pedal mode 0 here. You can see how quick I'm going, and I'm just moving along with the bike motor turned off, essentially. Mode 0 is the motor turned off. So as a beach cruiser, once you get down on the flats, unless there's a lot of wind, you can cruise all day in this mode. And you can see how slow my legs are turning to maintain this speed. It's just a real comfortable beach cruiser. And in addition to having really good torque sensing built into it by Mevice, the manufacturer of the motor and the torque sensor, the hub is designed to have very low resistance. So they put a special clutch in it, which means you can freewheel forever, which means better range and a lot faster speeds when you're going downhill. And down at the Manhattan and Hermosa Beach border, we encounter more stairs. You can go straight if you want to ride on the streets, but if you want to ride on the beach like a real beach guy, then you got to deal with more stairs. So here we go again. Again, I guess you could jump this if you were brave on your moped style e-bike. I know my son would do it. That brings us to a local landmark. This is the Beach House from Beverly Hills 90210. And believe it or not, they finally graduated in time to collect Social Security. You are allowed to ride bikes down here. I think also e-bikes. I didn't specifically check, but you have to go super slow. And you're right on the beach. There's a lot of rich people there. Watch out for tsunamis. And you have to go under 8 miles an hour and do not smoke. And down at Hermosa Beach, established in 1907, we take a break, check out the pier, take a look to see if anything's going on. I think they used to do Tour de Pier up here. I think actually on the pier were all those exercise bikes, but Manhattan appears to have stolen that event from them. So it's up in Manhattan now, and down here you can have a cup of coffee and just chill out and eat breakfast. And then on down the bike path to King Harbor, which is Redondo Beach. Redondo Beach is kind of mostly inland, but it's got this tentacle that reaches out to the ocean where they have a lot of cool stuff that we'll check out here. Oh no, more stairs. So this is a great day for running up and down stairs with a bike, and I'm happy to have my lightweight bike. That appears to be the main thing I'm trying to tell you people is great about this bike, but there's a lot of other great things as well. So now we're down here with the boats, and there's a lot of restaurants. You can get fresh fish that they just yanked out of the water, and anything your heart desires is down here. And you can see my average heart rate from Manhattan all the way down to Redondo is 96 beats a minute, so I'm barely working. And there's a lot of activities here. The pedal boats are a heck of a workout. I did that with my son when he's little. There's kayaks, there's stand-up paddle boards, and there's even a glass-bottom boat tour that they run there that you can use to see what's on the bottom of the ocean, and whale watching as well. The Redondo Beach Pier has a big, wide, empty section there in the middle where people go to fish. So it's a fishing pier, and a lot of people are on there fishing all the time. And then they've also built restaurants and stores and things there. So whatever you want is there. Like this store sells hats, and it also sells things. I guess the definition of a thing is a physical object. So whatever you want, you could get in that store. That one sells toe rings. So whatever you want is there, including good food. In fact, if you don't want to go looking for seashells on the beach, don't even go down there in the dirty water. Just go here, get the seashells. And e-bike rentals are on the top floor. The guy who owns this store went to elementary school with me. Cool guy, a Navy SEAL, firefighter, dad, good guy in the neighborhood. And he rents these bikes to people. So you rent the bike, and then you can ride the bike path all the way down to Palos Verdes. And he rents out bikes made by the Electric Bike Company. So these guys actually build their own bikes down in Orange County somewhere. They even assemble their own wheels and paint the bikes down there. So check out Electric Bike Company. Also, definitely check out beachbiking.com if you need to rent a bike and you're in Redondo Beach. Or if you want to buy a bike, they will sell you a bike as well as all different types of bicycle accessories. I realize there's a lot of product placement in this video. I don't think this was on purpose. I just keep running into people I know as I'm traveling around and want to let the world know about them. The guy from Tenways is probably watching this right now and saying, hey, this is supposed to be about our bike, not all these other bikes. Sorry, Roger. Any PR is good PR. I still love your bike, believe me. And speaking of my Tenways bike, you can see how windy it gets. That wind is blowing to the north. So when you're going against the wind, that pedal assist really does help. At the southernmost end of the bike path, that is Palos Verdes up there on the hill. If you're brave and you've got battery left, you could ride up that ramp and then go climb the hills of Palos Verdes. Otherwise, here's the view northward from the southernmost end of the bike path. So it's time to turn around and head for home. So the great benefit of this bike over a moped style bike is that you can get into perfect pedaling position and you can actually use it to get workouts with the motor turned off. So we'll take a look at my last weekend stats here. I did a 5-hour ride on it. I rode 50 miles. All right, 48.4 miles, but still, that's 2,191 calories burned. So you can definitely get your burn on with this if you want to. You can work as hard as you want, or you can just be lazy bones and put it in mode 3. And on this bike ride, I'm definitely consuming more calories than I'm burning. I'm going to have the bread bowl clam chowder because you have to have that when you're on the pier. And maybe take a look through the binoculars. Coupon code gets you this binoculars for 23 cents instead of 25 cents. Link in description if you want to save money on that. Oh, the Old Fun Fish Restaurant. Are you old? Is the fish old? Is the fish fun? And then on the way home, I saw this sign and had to turn around and come back. Ape Rider has a storefront. You've seen my reviews of their bikes in the past, so I had no idea that they were actually setting up a local storefront. Hello, everybody, with pictures of all the famous apes on the wall. Good people. I'll make another video about this later.
Pick up the pace.
I was planning to go through Manhattan and up the hill, but the hill is still blocked off. These guys are still riding exercise bikes hours later, and the Chargers are playing the drums. So that means I got to go north and take a detour. So I'm going to ride up to Rosecrans and then cut around and ride up the hill. But I just ate an entire loaf of bread stuffed with salt and bovine mucus and mercury-filled sea life. So if I had to ride an actual bike up this hill, I'm 100% sure I would throw up. So I put it in pedal assist mode 3, and I'm able to grind my way up the hill, narrowly avoiding running over people's dog, and get back home. This is a great test because this is a super steep hill. This is the Rosecrans Hill that goes down to the beach at El Porto, Manhattan Beach. And it's flat right here because I'm riding through an alley, but this is where I go to test all of my e-bikes. And on this one, it's a great test to have a stomach full of unstable food and have to ride up this hill. You can see this is probably 10 miles an hour. I wish we could see the display better. It doesn't play nice with my Apple in terms of the frame rate, so it's kind of hard to see how fast I'm going on this bike. But you can see I'm sitting down, riding with one hand, I'm pedaling, but I'm not really working super hard. Getting all the way to the top. We're even going to get a green light here. And over there on the right is a bike that's been there for 5 years with a luggage rack on it. And I'm seriously thinking about going and grabbing that luggage rack and putting it on the Tenways bike so I can swipe more swag next time I'm at an unscheduled event like I was today. But very happy with the Tenways. It climbs hills just fine in mode 3. You can be lazy or you can get exercise on this thing. The belt drive is quiet. It's smooth. It's flawless. Never have to wash it. Never have to oil it. 18,000 mile range on that belt drive. So way longer life than a chain. So just for if you want a beach cruiser and you're not interested in going 38 miles an hour, this thing is an excellent choice. No complaints about it. The hydraulic brakes are great. Everything on it is great. Does what it's supposed to do. And it looks good too. And it comes in different frame sizes. You can get a small, a medium, or a large. So if you're tall, short, whatever, they have a size for you. Now, at the end of the ride, I'm at 193. I think I started at 160. I did 15 miles on it yesterday, and I've still got over 70, does that say? 70% battery left. So this thing will go a long way if you use your legs to help it out.